gets like dark, gotta let it
What are those? So, as you can see behind me, I finally got my chopper back today from the old shop. It was cool riding it again, and you know, hopefully I'll make some time to actually ride it a little more. If anybody's interested, it is for sale. It has been for sale for quite some time. Still working on Frank's car. As you can see, I've been building this box here lately, and this is gonna house some shoes. So Frank has these shoes right here. They're Jordan Supremes. And I'm not really a shoe guy, so I couldn't really tell you the significance of these shoes, but I do know that these are some desirable shoes. I have showed them to a couple of people that like shoes and they really like them. These will be displayed under glass. It'll look really cool in the trunk. So here is where the shoes will be displayed. As you can see, there's a big hole. You can see right down to his Akrapovic exhaust. Those won't get really hot because they are titanium, but you'll see this is where the hole is cut to see the glass, or the shoes and everything will be displayed underneath here. Now, if anybody's interested, this is a Vorsteiner bumper that came off of Frank's E92, and we only took it off because it wouldn't work with our wide body that we put on it. But as you can see, the whole thing is carbon fiber. It is so light. Look at this. I'm picking up with one finger. So light. Something I didn't get to show you guys before. This is Frank's air tank that this is going to control his air ride. And this is an AccuAir Endo VT system. What's unique about this tank is that it actually has the valves in the ends of the tanks. And there's another one on that side. But we had this sent out to Custom Paintworks, Nico Samansky and his wife. And they did such an incredible job of painting it. Look at the detail in Robert De Niro's face, down to the roulette wheel, the Cadillac. I mean, you can see this girl has a glittery, you know, bikini on. This is just insane. So we're out here at the old shop right now, out at the Speedway, and this is the final goodbye right here. You can see it behind me. And all I have to do, all my stuff's out. All I have to do is grab my truck and trailer that's right behind me, and we're out of here. So I'm on my way to Anchorage, Alaska for work. Gonna be taking a little bit break for the cars and everything. So you're probably gonna see a lot about my vacation and everything. Well, I'd say it's a vacation, but we're actually going for work. We're heading through the airport right now, about to go through security. Should be a good time. So I had to get a seat request on my ticket, which means they didn't give me a ticket right when, or give me a seat when, right when I came to the airport. I had to go to the gate, and they would print out my ticket right when I boarded. And I guess I lucked out and got first class. What that means, I don't know, because sometimes on a lot of these smaller flights, they don't even have nicer seats. So I guess we'll see. So as you can see, I'm all the way at the back of the airplane. I'm pretty sure that guy is just bullshitting. As soon as you print out your ticket, he said the same thing to this guy here as well. And we're all the way at the back. But that's all right. I think this is one of the best seats in the house. So we just landed in Seattle, Washington, and the weather is exactly as my cousin described. Looks exactly like how England does all the time, and apparently that's the way it is here. So I just landed in Anchorage, Alaska, and check out this killer view. This is just the airport. Can't wait to see what kind of adventures this brings us. So I just arrived at the Sheraton Anchorage, and I'm really surprised at the hotel choice. It's actually really nice. Can't wait to go upstairs and see what the room looks like. So we all got settled in at the hotel room, and now we've just walked down the street to a bar called Pumpy's, and apparently they had a man versus food challenge here. Sounds crazy. It's $180 for you to eat it, but even if you finish it, you don't get the meal for free. You still have to pay the $180 unless you can beat the time of 12 minutes and 38 seconds. So we're just coming out of the bar right now, and it really feels like it's only 9 o'clock, but if you look at my phone, it's 11:18. It's pretty crazy how the sun sets here in Alaska, and I'm really curious to see how the rest of the trip goes. So here in Alaska, I just seen my first moose. Vegas. Flip. I think every store should have one of these. Not far from my hotel is BMW of Anchorage. We're gonna take a look around and see what kind of BMWs they like to ride in style with here in Alaska. Already I can see a BMW E92 M3 with snow tires. Something you would never see in Vegas. You can actually see that the E92 snow tires are stretched in the back there. So I'm just leaving BMW of Anchorage, and not a single person in there said hello to me or waved to me, even though I had said hello to them and acknowledged their existence. But that's all right. They only had one brand new M car in there. This is the BMW M2, just pretty damn nice. I think it's a little too cold to drive something like that here, but maybe you throw some studded snow tires on it and call it a day. So the first thing you see when you walk into the Porsche dealership here in Anchorage is this beautiful 911 behind me. I spoke with a couple of the people that worked here, and I was surprised with how many sports cars you actually see on the road here, especially with snow tires on them, and they say there's quite a bit of them. So I'm leaving Kendall Porsche of Anchorage, and I just had a nice conversation with a fellow named Cody. We talked about my E92 M3, we talked about a bunch of 911s, and he even informed me that there's one owner here that has a GT3 RS. Imagine ripping through the roads of Alaska, through the mountains in a GT3 RS. The fresh air, it just probably is amazing. I can't believe how many people here actually drive their 911 all year. So being in Alaska with no source of transportation was kind of getting to me, and it was getting old that I couldn't go anywhere or explore. I mean, this is the final frontier. You got to get out and do that kind of stuff. So I rented a car, and this is what they gave me, this Nissan Versa. And my first impression, it is terrible. It is one of the worst cars I've ever driven, and expect to see a lot more little reviews out of it like that, and maybe some J-turns or something like that. just fell in the fucking snow. God damn. This is fucking terrible.
So hard. Y'all in state.
So I just lost my shoe about 3.5 feet underneath the snow, and it's wedged in there. I've been trying to grab this thing out for about 15 minutes now, and it's not coming out. I'm standing here in the snow in my bare socks.
One foot.
One foot, and it's terrible.
Let's get it.
Is it on?
I'm sure you want it more.
If we went around it, if we dug around
Just
it,
dig around it.
yeah, like around the heel. That'll work.
So we just went through the longest tunnel in North America. As you saw, it was just really crazy. Single lane, they had railroad tracks all the way through, I guess to move large amounts of freight. I guess they have this little town over here called Whittier, and it's really impossible to get to. So instead of making a road around it, let's just blow right through the mountain. So I guess Saucy Yoda was down here sometime. Absolutely not. We're going into this big and scary building right now. In Alaska. This is pretty creepy.
We're gonna die. Oh god, he's got the camera. That's what it is. This is how. I feel like I shouldn't be saying that. If it was filmed.
They say I wouldn't last a day in the real world. I say you wouldn't survive one night. So apparently Jessica Pivot is a slut.
Let my people go.
Alaska is absolutely gorgeous. You have to come out here.